mental health is central to your existence as a human being. Our mental capacity and functioning is why we are different from other living forms. Our mental system is the bedrock of our functioning as humans. The organ of our mental functioning is the brain, and the brain is a biological organ, just like all other organs in the body. Mental health, like other physical health, is not the absence of disease or illness or infirmity. Being mentally healthy does not just mean you do not have a mental disorder or illness. It means that despite the factors around you, whether negative or positive, you can adapt, thrive, achieve your potential, be productive, participate meaningfully, engage positively in your relationships with family, friends, colleagues, and in any setting, be it in academics, workplace, or in other areas of functioning. What this means is that when we experience stress from the vicissitudes of life, which is part of life, those feelings will not endure or devolve into incapacitating states. Mental and physical health implies fitness rather than freedom from disease. Consider Mr. A and Mr. B, who are both 50 years old. Mr. A has diabetes, but with a well-controlled blood sugar level. Mr. B does not have diabetes or any other illness. This does not mean that Mr. B is healthier than Mr. A. Mr. A with a diagnosis of diabetes and well-controlled blood sugar levels might be physically healthier and fit than Mr. B. In the same vein, having no mental illness like schizophrenia or depression or bipolar disorder or any other diagnosis does not imply you are enjoying good and optimum mental health. Someone receiving treatment for an anxiety disorder may be more mentally healthy and productive than one who is free of any mental disorder. Health and illness exist on a continuum. They are not polar opposites. They are also dynamic and can change with circumstances. One can have a fair or good or excellent mental health just as one can experience mild or moderate or severe hypertension. A person on the higher level point on the continuum of health is definitely better than the person on the lower level. A higher degree of health implies better performance, better strength, better resistance to disease and illness. It is like two people with scores of 60 and 90% respectively in a mathematics exam. Although they both passed, the one with the higher score will certainly do better on tasks that involve numbers or calculations. The one with 60% can still do a lot to perform better and score higher next time. The meaning of this is that even though you are healthy, you can still do a lot to promote your health. Our mental health is very important and critical for success and good life. When you promote your mental health, you have more positive emotions, you adapt to changes better, you cope better with adversity, you have good relationships, engage in more positive and rational thinking, which will translate to better decision making, better problem solving capacity, and making the most of your potential. Also, research has shown that positive mental health is associated with more positive outcomes like reduced chances of morbidity, that is illness, better immune system, which implies better resistance to illnesses, including mental illnesses. So, mental health is also critical for the overall health of man. Many factors determine the state of our mental health, how healthy we are mentally. These are factors within us and factors outside of us, that is in the environment. The brain interfaces with the environment. What you see or hear or smell or taste or experience are translated into neuronal messages by the brain. The brain interprets these messages and produces the responses. If you are in any situation, your brain interfaces, perceives, and interprets the situation to you. Different responses are then possible depending on the interpretation. The brain is an organ whose working can be modified by the environment. It is the organ that gives us the capacity to cope and thrive in different negative situations. If you are in a very cold environment, the brain senses it and will direct other systems in the body to the necessary actions so as to maintain equilibrium. The same thing happens when you experience something that has the potential to make you anxious or worried. Your emotional and behavioral response to this situation will depend on how your brain interprets it. While we may not have so much control over everything that happens around us, we have control over how our brain responds to these things. So, even when there is a potential stressor in the environment, you may not even perceive that factor as a stressor, depending on the workings of your brain. So, how do we keep this organ, that is the brain, in the best possible state to serve us well? How do we take charge of the factors that can heavily influence our mental functioning and mental health? How do we develop resilience, which is having a mental functioning that is able to bounce back quickly in adversity, or that is able to adapt to changes without breaking and still remain productive? How do we promote and sustain our mental health? Let us look at 14 very important things to do to promote and sustain mental health. Number 1, eat right. Your brain is a biological organ and it needs to be properly nourished. It needs to be supplied the right nutrients. Junk food is bad for the brain, just like it is for other organs of the body. You need to eat a variety of foods to get the nutrients you need for good mental health. Follow the food guide pyramid to help you to know what to eat and how much from each food group to get the necessary nutrients. Choose a diet with plenty of grains, vegetables, and fruits. Eat moderate meats, eggs, and milk. Eat less of fats, saturated fats, cholesterol, and sugar, and also drink adequate amounts of fluids every day. If you eat a balanced diet, there is no need to take any food supplements except in some states, like in pregnancy. 2, keep away from psychoactive substances like alcohol, nicotine, cannabis, cocaine, heroin, codeine, tramadol, and so on. Even though alcohol and nicotine, that is cigarettes, are socially acceptable in most societies, there are significant health risks associated with the consumption of these substances. You may hear that little alcohol is salubrious, but the negative effects outweigh any fly speck of gains to health. Apart from this, that small gain can be obtained by doing other things that do not carry the risk alcohol possesses. Psychoactive substances are toxic to the cells of the brain. A user may initially enjoy enhanced positive sensations after using these substances, but they always damage the brain cells on the long run. And how fast they damage your brain depends on many other factors. When people use psychoactive drugs, they often get a boost to their mood, but it is usually short-lived. It's more like a flash in the pan. Sometimes people take these drugs to self-medicate, that is to relieve their mental distress or mask their pain, but the brain gets used to it and keeps demanding for more and more, and soon the individual becomes dependent or addicted to them. All psychoactive substances carry significant health risk with them. These drugs don't make your problems go away, rather they complicate things for you. Some people claim that they can stay within the safe limit of use, but oftentimes they lose control over this use. The best advice is stay away from all psychoactive substances. 3, have enough rest and sleep. Rest and sleep help not only the nerves of the brain or the brain cells, but every cell in the body to recover from use and fatigue. How much sleep you need depends on your age, although there are short and long sleepers. An average adult needs at least 6 hours of sleep daily. It's important that you cultivate good sleep hygiene. The 4th one is talk. When you talk about how you feel or your worries and fears, it lightens the mental burden for you. It is not a sign of weakness. Don't suffer in silence. Talking, apart from lifting the burden, may also open you up into receiving valuable insights and advice from trusted people. There is nothing to be ashamed of in talking about your problems with a trusted friend, relative, colleague, a cleric, or any other person you know you can trust. Talking helps, but please talk to the right person. Number 5, social interaction and support. We are all social beings and we need one another. Social media is not enough. Real face-to-face interaction is more beneficial. Positive and strong supportive friends and family are invaluable. Having friends, good friends, boosts your positive emotions. You feel valued and loved. Having listening ears around you to unburden has immense benefits. Having shoulders to cry on is therapeutic. No man is an island. No one is a superhero. We all have times when we sure need the strength of others to lift us up. Cultivate a good social network for yourself. 6, take a break. Sometimes it is very necessary for us to step outside our daily vicinity of stress for a while to regain vigor and gusto. It may be for a few minutes or hours or for days. Stepping out of a heated argument for a few minutes can calm us down and make us put things in perspective. Going for days on a vacation can be very soothing and rejuvenating. 7, create time for leisure. Doing what you love gives a satisfaction that is invaluable, even when you are not doing it for profit. Identify your hobby. Engage in it as often as you can. It may be anything like baking, biking, gardening, sewing, sporting, playing musical instruments, dancing, drawing, or other forms of leisure. It is very calming and enhances positive moods. 8, exercise. Regular exercise is very beneficial to the whole body, including the brain. Exercise is not just to lose weight. Exercise rejuvenates and tones not only your muscles, but all organs, including your brain. Exercise is not only going to the gym or sporting. Physical activities like walking briskly or engaging in house chores are good forms of exercise. 30 minutes of regular exercise 3 to 5 times a week has been proven by research to be very salubrious. Take the staircase at work instead of the elevator. Regular exercise fosters brain recovery, boosts your mood because some neurotransmitters are released when the body is very active. It enhances your attention and concentration, sharpens your focus and perception, and ultimately pumps up your productivity. 9, practice relaxation techniques regularly. Sitting in front of the television or going to the bar or club is not enough to harness the benefits of relaxation to our mind and body. It is something that you have to do actively. Relaxation is the antithesis to the stimulation of our sympathetic nervous system, which arouses our bodies to action during times of stress. Relaxation is a wonderful way of countering the effect of stress on our body. Relaxation techniques are deeply calming, and there are various types like deep breathing, mindful meditation, guided imagery, progressive muscle relaxation. One of the advantages of relaxation is that you can do it anywhere, even at your office desk. Choose the ones that work best for you. 10. Adopt optimism. Be optimistic. Change the way you think, the way you evaluate things, events, people, and indeed everything around you. Learn to put things in the right perspective. Learn to look at things from the positive angle. It will save you from a lot of unnecessary worries, and you will have more positive emotions that will promote your mental well-being. 11. Embrace an attitude of gratitude. Appreciating what you have and being grateful for them helps a lot. But most times, people focus on what they do not have, forgetting that some people don't even have what they have. Gratitude engenders positive emotions and fosters good mental health. 12. Do not harbor negative feelings. Negative feelings like bitterness, unforgiveness, hurt, and so on put more pressure on your mental functioning. Negative emotions are interpreted by the brain as stressors, so the cascade of the stress response is activated, and when this happens too often or for too long, it drains you and damages organs in the body, including the brain. Learn to let go of hurts and bitterness. 13. Accept things you cannot change. Life happens to us. Sometimes things happen that is way beyond us, that no human can do anything about. This is the reality of life. Learn to accept things you cannot change. 14. Seek help. If you still feel overwhelmed despite all this, please do not hesitate to ask for help. Asking for help does not mean you are weak. Rather, it means you are wise. Thank you for listening.